Testing. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe Day Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to everybody. Hope Tuesday is going well for you thus far. If not, don't give up. Don't be discouraged. You don't know what the rest of the week has in store, so just hang in there. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Thought it was imperative that I did today's content. Basically talking about misery likes company. Misery likes company. You have to realize the Bitter Pill Brothers and the Bitter Pill Sisterhood is at an all-time high in the black YouTube sector. Again, I will repeat, the Bitter Pill Brothers and Bitter Pill Sisterhood is at an all-time high in the black YouTube sector. You have a lot of individuals that are appointing themselves to be dating coaches. You have a lot of people who are appointing themselves to be relationship experts. You have people on YouTube who are appointing themselves to be relationship specialists. And the truth of the matter is there are a lot of people that are appointing themselves to be dating coaches when they really don't have any receipts to prove that they know what it takes to keep a relationship together. They don't know what it takes for a black man and a black woman to come together successfully and build an empire. You have a lot of people in the black YouTube sector that have certified themselves. And the only thing I hate about views, the thing that really kind of disturbs me is when it comes to views, is that views make people believe they are certified in what they teach. Views, increase in views, increase in subscribers, increase in super chats, makes people feel like they are certified in teaching the content that they teach. So you have you have individuals who think because they have over 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers, they truly believe that they have what it takes to lead people into who they should choose as far as a companion when it comes to selecting a black woman, when it comes to selecting a black man. You have people who think because of their notoriety, because of their popularity, they really have made themselves, they have convinced themselves into believing that they are qualified in teaching what they teach. And as a subscriber, as a listener, you ladies and you guys are going to have to be very careful because the YouTube streets are flooded with false dating prophets. People who know nothing about what it takes to have a successful marriage because they have not been married a long time, what it takes to have a successful relationship because they can't produce any receipts that they are in a long withstanding relationships. Or you're going to have men that are going to tell you how to pull women, and they really can't produce any receipts on what kind of women they be pulling, but they'll tell you in order for you to be a high value man, you got to pull this kind of woman, but you've never seen any of the women they pull. Or they'll tell you in order to be a high value man, you have to make a certain amount of money, basically discrediting guys men who work their asses off, even if you do labor work. You don't have to be one of those guys in a suit, sitting behind a desk, typing behind a computer. If you're a man who works with your hands and you do labor, if you're a longshoreman, you're a roofer, you're a contractor, guess what? You are a high value man. You do not have to be wearing a suit to be a high value man. If you have your own business, I don't care if you are a plumber. I don't care if you are a bus driver. I don't care if you are a sanitation worker. It does not mean you are less of value because you're not wearing a suit, because that is not true. I know men who have jobs where they cannot be clean all the time. I know men who work harder than men who sit behind a desk in the office wearing a suit and gator shoes. And for them to be told you are less of value because you're not well dressed all the time, because you're not dressed up, you have a position where you can't dress up, where you got to wear work boots, you have to wear dirty work pants because of the type of work you do. I think it's a disservice. It takes away from the men who do labor work. Because let's face it, there's a lot of money to be made when it comes to labor work. If a man is a painter, I know contractors, I know painters, I know guys who do stucco on houses, men who are roofers, who actually repair roofs, replace roofs. They make just as much money, if not more, than men who sit behind the desk wearing an expensive suit with gator shoes. They make more money than these men. And on top of that, they're willing to get dirty. You got some men, they love to be so clean. They too clean to get down and do dirty work or do labor. You get what I'm saying? So basically what I'm saying is, in this day and age, as a black man and as a black woman, you have to be very careful with who you allow into your ear gate, because the truth is there are a lot of people that are influencing black people to go the wrong direction. You have people that are telling you you don't need to date black women. You got people that are telling you you don't need to date black men. You have all of these people that have all the answers to what type of man, what type of woman you should be dating. And the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of miserable individuals out here. We have a lot of miserable individuals. And don't think for a second that just because somebody is successful, that they're not miserable. You know how many people are successful, who make a lot of money, who have a lot of popularity, and that still does not mean they're not miserable. You have a lot of miserable, successful people out here. But the thing about it is, a lot of y'all don't even want to believe that a person could be miserable, especially when they're successful. A lot of y'all don't think that successful people are miserable. Don't think for a second because a person is getting has a large platform, that they have a lot of notoriety and a lot of popularity. That does not mean they are happy. It does not mean that they are happy. You can be successful and be miserable at the same time. You can be successful and miserable at the same time. You can be blessed in one area of your life and still be cursed in another area. You can be happy in one area of your life and you can be miserable. I know people who are very successful, got good jobs, but it does not mean they are successful when it comes to love. It does not mean they're successful when it comes to finding a companion. I know people who are successful on jobs, but they're not successful in love. They're not successful because what has happened is success tends to make people very cocky and arrogant. When people reach a certain level of success, now they feel like they can bash black women or they feel like they can bash black men. And this tends to happen a lot in the black community, especially black men and black women who have had their share of rejection. The rejected community, and what I mean by the rejected community is black men and black women who have struggled to get to where they are. And basically, they experienced and encountered a lot of rejection from the black community. And now that they have reached a level of success, now they've gotten to a place in which they feel like they can bash or trash the opposite sex because now they are successful and in a better place. Yes, Kai. Kai says, what's up to Kai and King Ba entering the chat and everybody else in the chat. Kai says, that's one of the biggest misconceptions, Mocha. Almost everybody in America at least believe if you're poor, you're miserable. But if you got money, you instantly happy on the average. That's my point exactly. And that's the point I am preaching. This is the point I'm trying to make everybody in the black YouTube sector understand. Y'all think these dating coaches, y'all think these content creators, y'all think because they are successful, they're not undercoverly hating on other people who may not be as successful as they are, but there are people that are successful in areas in which they are not. For instance, we all know that one person who makes a lot of money, has a nice home, is doing financially well, is not really struggling. I know people who are in the situation in which they don't have the same financial struggles compared to me. But you will be surprised how people who are successful will hate on people who don't have near as much as they have. You know why? Because success cannot buy you everything. I don't care how successful you are. Even successful people get rejected in other areas in their life. And the point that I'm trying to stress is that do not let these dating coaches, these false prophets in YouTube who have claimed to be relationships experts, who have claimed to be relationship advisors, do not let these dating coaches influence you into believing what type of black man or what type of black woman you should be with. Because the truth is, a lot of them, these dating experts, they don't have anybody and they never will have anybody just based on their arrogance, their attitude, and their ego. It's a lot of dating coaches that are influencing black men and black women not to love, because the truth is they can't get anybody to love them. They can't get in a companion. Now, while you have some of these dating coaches that will make you believe they're cream of the crop and they can get any high value black woman they want, or they can get any high value black man they want, believe it or not, no matter how much they present themselves to be one way on these YouTube streets, behind closed doors, there are a lot of men and women who will not give these certain type of individuals the time of day. What you see is not what you get. It's more to success than just having college degrees, then having a huge channel, a platform. There's so many levels to success than just being a popular dating coach, to just being a successful YouTuber. You have some people that are successful in other areas in which they are not. For instance, for years, look at Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey. What's up, Full Circle Essentials? Oprah Winfrey, for years, was a talk show host. She had her own talk show and became a millionaire. Oprah Winfrey became one of the highest paying Black women in talk show history. And to this day, this woman has gained so much success being the owner of OWN, her books. She's gotten a lot she's made a lot of accomplishments. That's basically what I'm saying. But through all the years, Oprah Winfrey was telling women how to find love, was telling women what type of husbands they should look for. With all her success, Oprah Winfrey was not able to accomplish that herself. All the years Oprah Winfrey went coaching and preaching to other women for years how to find a successful mate, how to find a real companion, a good companion. She herself was struggling, even with all her billions, even with all her success. Oprah Winfrey could not find a man to really love her for her, which is the reason why Oprah Winfrey for years kept preaching to other women and to other people on how they need to find love. When the truth was, she was struggling finding love herself. And that's what I'm telling y'all about these dating coaches. Don't let these people, these dating coaches, these false prophets, these YouTube pastors, because that's what I call them. These YouTube pastors manipulate y'all and influence y'all into believing that Black women ain't shit or Black men ain't shit. Because misery likes company. And I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, well, no, this person has over 1 million subscribers, or they have over 1,000 subscribers. Why would they be unhappy? They have nothing to be unhappy about. After all, they are successful. Look how big their platform has become. Look how great their channel is doing. It does not mean that they're not miserable. People hide and conceal their misery in different ways. You have a lot of miserable individuals that have learned how to hide behind their pain and their misery. And one of the defense mechanisms that a lot of these successful dating coaches use, they use bashing. Bashing has become a defense mechanism for a lot of these miserable YouTube dating coaches. Because again, if I cannot find a good Black woman, or if the Black women I want don't want me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my platform to influence other Black men to give up on Black women because Black women have given up on me. Or if I'm a popular, successful Black female content creator, and because I have not been able to connect with the type of Black men I want to connect with, I'm going to influence other Black women to dislike Black men by bashing Black men, degrading Black men, and tearing Black men down. But see, you have to be woke to what's going on. Think about it. It's common sense. If a person, the majority of their content could only bash Black men, That's already a sign. If there's a female content creator, all she does is bash black men on the regular, on the daily. She has nothing else to talk about. Or that one black man, that one black male content creator, all he can do, the majority of his content, is bash black women. The reason for that is because the very thing we bash is the very thing that has rejected us. I'm going to repeat that again in case some of y'all didn't catch it. The very thing we bash is the very thing that has rejected us. For instance, you ever been, and I'm sure every black woman and black man has experienced this. You ever really was feeling a certain dude or feeling a certain guy? I mean, you was feeling a certain woman or feeling a certain guy. You really want to get with this person. So you and this person started dating. Y'all started talking. And you felt like it was going to lead to something else. The chemistry felt good. The vibe felt good. Only to find out that person really wasn't feeling you. So to lessen the rejection, to lessen the blow, what you do is you find something wrong about that person so you don't feel bad that they rejected you. For instance, if I'm feeling a guy and I'm thinking me and him vibing, and he tells me later on that, yeah, you're a nice girl, you cool, but I'm not really into looking for no relationship right now. Your defense mechanism will automatically make you look for something wrong. You may come up with, well, you know what? On second thought, I really didn't think me and him was connected like that anyway, because he told me he has kids. So, I don't want to deal with a man who has kids anyway. In other words, after a person has rejected you, now you want to find something wrong with them. And I'm telling you, the majority of these bitter pill brothers and bitter pill sisterhood committee, a lot of them are preaching negative content about black men and black women because that is the very thing that rejected them. But because in order for you to hate something, it means at some point in time it rejected you. For you to hate a certain group of individuals, for you to have so much hate as a black man towards black women, somewhere a black woman has failed you. You're not going to be that strongly against a black woman unless at some point in time you didn't love a black woman. Or you're not going to hate black men to that level of hate unless at some point in time you really loved a black man. In other words, you're not going to hate something that you didn't love at some point in time. And now what a lot of these dating coaches are doing, they're taking all of their pain of rejection, and what they're doing is they're teaching content and using it to weaponize how black men and black women should perceive each other. Exactly, Kai. That's pretty much like what I'm saying. For instance, that's a good example. For instance, if there's a woman that's into a certain guy and she's feeling him, and because he rejects her and say, you know what, no disrespect, but I'm not into plus size women. I'm not into black women. Her defense mechanism is automatically going to be, you know what, he's gay. She's going to find something wrong with him to take away the rejection she felt from him rejecting her. And you have black men and black women, both of us, all black people, all of us do it all the time. All black men and all black women are guilty. It's that defense mechanism, and it's called deflecting. Because you rejected me, I'm going to find something wrong with you so I don't have to face why you rejected me. So if I can perceive in my mind you rejected me as a black man because you're gay, and instead of accepting the fact that I'm just not your type, that you're not into me, instead of me being woman enough to just accept that, no, I got to come up with my own theory as to why you rejected me. I got to come up with my own theory, and because again, the rejection, being rejected, nobody likes rejection, especially the black community. The black community, we hate rejection. And when we face rejection, we start deflecting. So if a black woman tells you she's not into you, you're automatically going to look for something wrong with her, so you don't have to feel bad about the fact that she's not into you. Oh, well, she got too much weave, or she wear too much makeup, or she got too many kids. But none of that didn't stop you from wanting her in the first place. You didn't find nothing wrong with her until she rejected you. And men go through the same thing. A woman is checking for a certain guy and he rejects her. Well, he's gay. Or he's too weak. He can't handle a strong black woman like me. And this is what I'm stressing to y'all. We got a lot of butt hurt black men and black women in the black community. It's a lot of butt hurt. But y'all don't think people are still not traumatized from rejection issues because they got such a huge platform, or because they so successful, or because they have a lot of money. You can be successful and still feel less than worthy. Because believe it or not, success does not bring you everything you want. You may get some of what you want, but even with success, it's going to come with things you don't want. Kai says, it kills me a lot of these women started the wild, fat, phobic mess to shame men for not wanting them. But yet, since the beginning of time, women have been shaming fat men. Make it make sense. It's really terrible, Kai, because like I said, the black community has become obsessed with shame tactics. We have become obsessed with degrading and belittling one another because it makes us feel good about ourselves. You have black women that are belittling and destroying the credibility of black men because, again, they have had their share of rejection from black men who either betrayed them, played them, whatever the case is, and they're walking around holding this venomous poison, taking it out on all black men, like every black man on this planet is the reason she's going through what she's going through. And again, like I said, it's both of us are guilty of it. As I stated, you have a lot of black men, not all, let me say that. I don't want to generalize. You have some black men who grew up rejected by black women. Just like you have some black women who was rejected by black men. You got some of these men who were not very appealing, were not very attractive to black women. Because let's face it, some of us, everybody hasn't been fortunate to escape being an ugly duckling. Some of us had to blossom. Some of us, it took a little longer than others for us to get to that point in which our own kind will find us attractive. So some of us had the struggle face during our youth. You have some black women and black men who had the struggle face during their youth. And if the majority of your youth, you had other black men or other black women who rejected you and made fun of you, who teased you, it what it does is it mentally torments you, and it shapes how you perceive black men and black women. For instance, as a black man, if when you were a young black man, the majority of black women, the majority of black females you were into during middle school or high school, I'll say about middle school because that's when your puberty kind of kicks in. Let's say if during your middle school, when you were attending middle school, during your youth, the majority of women who rejected you was black women. I don't care how successful you become. I don't care how rich you become. That will always mentally hinder you, and it will get you. It will mentally hinder you to a point in which you will despise black women based on how they used to tease and reject you during your youth. So what tends to happen is the majority of some of these black men who have been picked on, teased, and belittled by young black women during their youth in middle school, high school, all that rejection and not being accepted, not being desired by the black girls you wanted at that time. Because let's face it, everybody has their certain fetishes. Maybe you was one of those young black men, one of those young black boys. Maybe you was into light-skinned women with long hair. Maybe you was into just pretty girls with long hair. There was something that you found appealing about certain black women. You had your certain preference, you had your certain type, but your type kept rejecting you. Your type wouldn't accept you. So what tends to happen is black men who have experienced a lot of rejection from black women during their youth, what it did was motivate them to strive harder to become successful. Because at that point in time, a lot of black females was not checking for him. All black females, we all remember that one dude in middle school and high school that none of the black girls wanted. And he tried to talk to every black girl he could find. And no matter what, nobody liked him. Everybody, it happens. Some black men went through that stage of being an ugly duckling, where there was not no black females in middle school and high school was not attracted to them. Maybe because he didn't have a lot of money. Maybe because he was still going through the ugly duckling stage, where he wasn't the cream of the crop. He wasn't that attractive. So at that time in middle school, high school, he was overlooked. He might have been too skinny. He might have had the struggle phase. Something about him during that era, during his youth, a lot of the black females did not find him attractive. So what tends to happen is black men who have been rejected during their youth, they use that rejection to motivate them to become successful. These are the ones who end up becoming lawyers, doctors. And I'm not saying this is the case with everybody, but in most cases, people who have been rejected, rejection drives people to want to become successful. And what has happened is, what's up, Queen of the South? What has happened is some of these black men who have been rejected, when they become grown black men, let me back it up because I want all of us to be clear. Some of these black men who have been rejected during their youth, who had black women make fun of them, who had black women look down on them during middle school, high school, during their youth. When they become full-grown men, they use all that rejection as a motivation tool to make them successful. So when they become successful, now they want to lash out on all black women to make up for the black women who did not want them during their youth. Like the song go, Mr. Nobody is somebody now. Now that you are successful, you're not that pissy boy, snotty nose, crusty nose, poverty-stricken boy you was in middle school and high school when the black girls rejected you. The pretty black girls you wanted rejected you. But now that you're a full-grown man and you got your ish together, you got your own business now, you're making some money now, you can wear suits now, you're not wearing pants with patches like you wore back in middle school and high school, you able to dress up a little bit better now. Now you want to penalize all black women for the black females that rejected you back in the day. Now you want to call all black women bitches, hoes, and say we average, say we this, say we that, when really you're venting out at the women who rejected you, because truth be told, you don't know me as a black woman now to be degrading me and putting me down. You don't know me like that. You know me for what you see me for, but you don't know me. So it lets me know you are taking out all your poisonous venom on me because of the women, the girls, the black women that rejected you back in the day. And what's going on is a lot of black women, we are being penalized for other black women who rejected these dudes back in the day. You know why? These dudes were told they were average. These dudes were told you're not attractive. So now they're using it towards us because now they feel they are in a better place to tell us we're average now because somebody back then did it to them. It's a lot of deflecting in the black community. Same thing with black women. You have some black women during their youth was rejected by the black boys they really wanted. You may have been that black girl who wanted the athlete. You wanted the popular black guy, but he rejected you. So now what you're doing is, because you're a full-grown black woman now, and you're not that little girl that was rejected back then, now you want to penalize all black men for the other men during your youth, the other black guys during your youth that rejected you. The problem with the black community is we generalize and want to put everybody in the same box because that's what makes us feel comfortable. If I can say that all black men ain't shit, if I can once I get that programmed in my mind to say that all black men ain't shit, that becomes my comfort zone. That makes me feel good about myself. And like I said, you have black men and black women that are guilty of doing this. That's why you have some black men that say, guess what? All black women ain't shit. Because as long as he can convince himself of that, that will prevent him from ever really wanting to ever have interest in a black woman again. He does not want to go back to that pain. Black men and black women, the reason we reject each other because at some point in time we rejected each other in our childhood. So what it does, it makes us feel safe. Even if more so, the worst person to have a big platform is people who have been rejected. Them the worst people that can have a bigger platform because they're going to convince other people to hate what they hate, to bash what they bash. The worst person to give power to is a bitter ass black man or a bitter ass black woman. They are the worst individuals you could possibly give power, clout, or recognition, because they're going to use their pain and weaponize it. They're going to use their platform to weaponize people who haven't done shit to them, but they're going to use it to weaponize all black men and black women for people who degraded them in the past. Rejection is the reason why so many black men and black women in the black YouTube sector have become so obsessed with this black bashing culture, in which we are constantly blasting the opposite sex. Now, me, I also came up with my share of rejection. Dudes wasn't checking for me. I personally knew back in, I'll go as far as middle school, high school. I knew for a fact there was females I looked at better than. And I still had these dudes reject me to go choose these struggle face broads. And that did something to my self-esteem for a long time. What's up, Caramel baby? So, Kai, when you said how, the way people, people looked at you like you was a peasant, there was the attitude, how they treated you. I totally get it, because I could have been one of those black women that could have fell into bitter pill mode based on things I have personally went through with black men. I could have used my platform to, what's up, Devin? I could have used my platform to degrade all black men. I could put all black men in the same box based on personal shit I have gone through. And that is the problem with the black YouTube sector. Whenever I hear a black man constantly bashing black women, or I hear a black woman constantly bashing black women, when I hear black women constantly bashing black men, I don't get high off of it. It's a lot of y'all are getting high off of content creators bashing the opposite gender. And think about it. The reason why the majority of y'all are getting so much joy and pleasure out of these dating coaches bashing black men or bashing black women, the reason you get so much joy off of it, think about it. It's like being at a football game, right? Wherever your team makes a touchdown, don't you jump up and you celebrate? You know why? Because that's the team you want to win, right? You're not going to cheer for a team you don't want to win. So the reason why we as black men and black women, the reason why y'all support these content creators that bash opposite gender is because internally you feel the same way. That's why you cape so hard for these dating coaches. That's why you're caping hard for these black men who bash black women, because truth be told, you've given up on black women yourself. Or you have had your share of rejection by black women. So now you're glad somebody is being your voice and somebody is putting black women in check, because when you had an opportunity to put a black woman in check, you probably didn't. So now you're glad there's a voice speaking for you and telling black women that they ain't shit, because probably at one point in time, you didn't have the courage to tell a black woman she wasn't shit. So now you're glad you got a voice that's speaking for you and telling you that. And that is the same thing with women. You have a lot of these female subscribers that are caping for black women who bash black men, because they too have been bashed by black men. So people want to go where people are going to support their narratives. You're not going to be a Black Panther and go to a KKK meeting. Exactly, Devin. And that's a good point. Devin says they never grew up seeing Black men and Black women coexist in a household and love each other. Most grew up in chaos, and now they're grown and still live in chaos. Absolutely. That's a very good point. A lot of Black men and Black women, truth be told, we never even seen Black men and Black women love. We've never witnessed love. We never witnessed Black men and Black women love each other. Truth be told, a lot of us were born and raised in dysfunctional circumstances. We were used to seeing our Black daddies put our Black mamas down. Always seeing our Black mothers put our Black fathers down, or either there was no Black fathers in the household to show us how to love a Black woman, or if there was two parents in the household, some of us grew up in two parents households, but our parents had a dysfunctional marriage. So to us, a lot of Black men and Black women, we have normalized disrespect. And I know there's a lot of races that do it, but Black men and Black women, we are the number one candidate. We have normalized disrespect to one another. And it's not just Black women who disrespect Black men and Black men who disrespect Black women. I'm now seeing a lot of Black men disrespect Black men. And I've always witnessed Black women disrespect other Black women. The Black community is at a loss at this point because there's so much disrespect all across the board. Black men disrespect Black men. Black women disrespect Black women. Black women disrespect Black men. Black men disrespect Black women. It's disrespect all the way around. This is the reason why we cannot prosper and we cannot get anywhere. And the sad part is Black people, we celebrate other Black people who bash Black people. We are the first to cape and support Black people who tear other Black people down. But y'all want to call it truth. Y'all want to call it truth. Y'all want to call bashing truth. But he just speaking the truth. Or she just speaking the truth. She telling it how it is. No, your truth don't speak for everybody. And that's the problem with Black people. We want our truth to speak for everyone. We want everybody to accept our truth, but we don't feel like we have to accept anybody else's truth. Black men and Black women, we have been on a bashing campaign for years, and YouTube has made it worse. You can't go to nobody chat. I'm tired of seeing Black men disrespect Black women. And I'm tired of seeing Black women disrespect Black men, but y'all want to call disrespect truth when in actuality, you're weaponizing the truth. So first of all, let's get this clear. Let's make this very clear. There's a difference between bash and truth. There's a difference between bash and truth. And I have to address this because I am tired of when a person is being disrespected and they say, and they speak their mind. Somebody wants to say, you just mad because he's telling the truth. Or you just mad because she's telling the truth. Disrespect is not truth. Disrespect is disrespect. If you're not into plus size women, that's your business. But you don't have to be on people's comments saying, oh, these fat Black bitches. That's not truth. That's disrespect. All these broke Black niggas. That's not truth. That's disrespect. And the problem with the Black community, y'all have made disrespect your truth. It has gotten totally out of hand. And we're talking about grown people. It's people over 30 years old who acting like children, cyberbullying because somebody has a difference in opinion. Because of your favorite dating coaches, you idolizing everything they say like they are God, your Lord and Savior. And because somebody does not agree with your Savior, what your dating coach says, you want to degrade them because I'm not caping for somebody you caping for. And then we want to come with the word hater. Hater. Because I don't agree with what you agree with. I'm a hater. No, I'm just not a participator. I'm not going to participate in your principles. I'm not going to participate in your beliefs. I'm not going to participate in your way of thinking. It doesn't call me a hater. It means I have my own mind. And a lot of y'all have become minions. YouTube is becoming a cult. What's up, Craig? What's up, Jason? The black YouTube sector has become a cult. Let me tell you, a lot of y'all don't want to believe. A lot of y'all don't want to believe it. But if you are really woke and you are spiritually inclined, you will know that the black YouTube sector is dangerous right now for the black community. It is dangerous. These black men up here promoting other black men to hate black women, that is dangerous because the majority of y'all got black goddamn daughters. Your daughters gonna come up with black men thinking and acting and perceiving black women the same way y'all do. They're gonna look at your daughters, your nieces the same goddamn way. And the same thing for you black women who think it's acceptable to put down black women, to put down black men, to tear down black men, knowing the system already don't respect our black men. But y'all are the same sisters who will listen to this bitter pill preaching broads, and as soon as one of these black men get killed, y'all standing around in line holding the picket fence, Black Lives Matter. How come only Black Lives Matter when it's the other race disgracing us? But it don't matter when it comes to us, though. How is that? It's a lot of disrespect across the board. And what a lot of y'all are not realizing, this poisonous, toxic, black bashing content y'all polluting the YouTube streets with, you got these young black men that are listening to y'all say it's okay to disrespect black women. And you are also you got these female content creators that are teaching young black women it's okay to disrespect black men. When we all leave from here, when the good Lord decides to call us home, all of us are leaving behind a lot of mess. We're leaving behind a lot of toxic, tainted philosophies that these young people are going to adopt. We're teaching the next generation black men ain't shit, black women ain't shit. Y'all are going to raise y'all young black men to seek love in other races so that another woman of another race could benefit from everything. And it goes to a whole nother community. No disrespect, Kobe Bryant. And that's not to be disrespectful. But this is the type of narratives we are pushing into the generation. Or we're telling young black women, don't even waste your time with black men. Start swirling. Expand your options. Exactly. But white people don't tell their children that. Oh, no. I don't see no white content creators up here telling their children. I don't see any white men. They don't tell their white sons, you better go find you a black. You better go find you a black woman. Don't mess with these white women. I ain't heard it. I ain't heard a white woman tell her white daughter, you better go get you a black man. If she did, it's because she chose to. And 9 times out of 10, they don't accept us easily. No disrespect. Kobe Bryant got accepted because he had money. That was the only reason Vanessa Bryant's mother accepted Kobe Bryant. Other than that, he wouldn't have really got accepted. And in most cases, most black men are accepted by the Clorox community if they got money, if they feel like their daughters are going to live lavishly. You can't be homeboy Pookie Ray Ray and go into that kind of family with a high social status and high echelon and think they're going to accept you. And it goes both ways. Same thing for black women. So my thing is, as I was stating, because I know I've been all over the place, but y'all have to be careful who y'all listening to, because it's a lot of dating coaches. They have their own personal misery. And what they're doing is they're using their platform to poison and contaminate the mindset of the listeners. And black men, black women, y'all have to be careful who you allow in your ear gate. What's up, Fred Hampton? Fred says gender war is going on exactly like it's supposed to go. That's why a third of us needs to go, and it'll happen soon enough. We are the only group of people that disrespects one another in public spaces. And this is what I've been speaking upon. And it's sad because a lot of us, we have become comfortable with the disrespect. We have become comfortable. We have nested in disrespect. And we are the only culture that does it openly. The black culture, I don't get me wrong, I've gone to some of these of the white content creators, and they go in on each other, but not like we do. Not like we do. Not like we do. We are the only race that has to disrespect each other openly and harshly. And what I'm telling a lot of you is that's why you have to be careful of these dating coaches, because a lot of them are miserable. Let's be honest. Half of these dating coaches, men and women, half of them have not had the best success in relationships because, for one, you have a lot of people that are very arrogant in their knowledge. Some of these YouTube dating coaches are very complicated. They may be popular on YouTube, but that don't mean they're popular with relationships. Some of these dating coaches on YouTube are popular with super chats, but that don't mean they're popular with chatting with women or men. You can't look at somebody's channel and figure because they have a certain amount of subscribers that they got it made. Yeah, they have it made on YouTube, but that don't mean they have it made in other areas of their life. I know a guy who's a successful lawyer, but he is unsuccessful when it comes to getting women. He don't know how to talk to them. He don't know how to treat them. I know some black women who have their own businesses. I know a black woman who owns her own hair salon, but she cannot get a man to even take the time to even want to, try to build anything with her because her attitude is so poor. Yeah, Kai, that's my phone. My phone that keep trying to advertise this Galactica game or whatever. I don't even play games like that, but my phone just loves to keep sending me this ad. Yep. Kai says even the Mexican community doesn't do it like we do. And they're one of the races closest to us. Yeah. It is just always the black race. It's all, and then black men and black women, when we go in on each other, we don't even do it respectfully. I go in chat rooms. Who do I hear screaming and yelling back and forth? What's up, Cartier? Black men and black women. You can't never go to a panel without hearing black men and black women disrespect, degrade, yell, scream. And when a man loses an argument, the only thing he can say is, bitch, bitch, bitch. You can always tell when a man is losing an argument because he wants to throw B bombs or F bombs. Fuck that B, F that B, F that B. When he's losing an argument, here comes the disrespect. Or I've seen men who have a good panel. What's up, Bucket? I've seen men who have a good panel and they let that one shock thought come on the panel and give her opinion, and she throws off the whole goddamn vibe. Now all the dudes are arguing. You need to have discretion. Well, who you allow in your circle? You have to have discretion. As I stated, the gender war is getting out of hand. And let me tell you something. It's a lot of miserable black men and black women out here who, with all their success, they're not successful at getting a man. They're not successful at getting a woman. And what a lot of them are going to be doing, they're going to be talking y'all into not getting a man or a woman because they can't get one. I'm telling you what I'm peeping from the bushes. These dating coaches don't want y'all to have nobody because they ain't got nobody. I know you don't want to believe that because you're thinking, well, Mocha, how was that when they got over X amount of subscribers? How would they be miserable when they're getting all the super chats? How would they be miserable when they're getting all of these interviews, when they're getting all these accolades and they're getting all this popularity? You can be successful in success. That does not mean you're going to be successful in love. You have a lot of miserable black men and black women who are trying to influence other black men and black women into not wanting anybody. They don't want you to want anybody because they can't get anybody. You have a lot of these supposedly dating coaches, men and women, who think they got all the answers to relationships, but they can't share no real experience with you. They're not really telling you how to really better yourself. All they doing is bashing. I listen to these dating coaches. I hear constructive criticism, but they're not giving any solutions. You're being told you're not that attractive. Black women are telling black women or telling other black women, you need to find a man and secure the bag. You know, we're giving each other all this advice, but all this negative advice, but there's no solutions. And the reason why a lot of these dating coaches are never going to tell y'all to look for love, because they know if they speak on you finding love, 9 times out of 10, that's going to take away from the narratives that they're preaching. Because if I am a content creator, I'm a content creator, and the majority of my advice is about bashing black men. You think I'm gonna encourage black women to look for marriage when the majority of my content is about dogging black men and disrespecting black men and dragging black men? The last thing I'm going to do is tell black women how to find a good black man. Because if I tell black women how to find a good black man, the sisters who support my bitter pill knowledge, they're going to leave my channel. However you start off your channel, whatever you build your channel upon, you have to stay in that lane. If you build your channel off of bashing black women, you got to stay that way. Because the moment you try to build black women, you're going to lose your fan base. So whatever narratives that a lot of these dating coaches have adopted, they have to stay that way, because that is what helped for them. That is what got them to be successful, from them preaching the content that they preach. And to keep their fans, they have to keep talking about that same toxic mess. It's a lot of toxic, bitter pill knowledge that's being passed on from generation to generation. And the worst part is, I'm hearing young black men, these young black men, the sad part is these young black men who didn't even get a chance to start really dating, who still trying to find their own identity. You older black men are on these YouTube streets preaching all of this bitter pill toxic mess to these young black men. You got young black men already hating black women before they can even get a chance to become a full-grown man to learn how to have his own philosophies on black women. Or you got these older black women that are teaching young black women all of this negative toxic content about black men. You already shaping her mind on who black men are, and she hasn't even started dating or going out there to learn about black men on her own. So she's going to automatically adopt your negative philosophies because of what you're programming into her mind. And it's really terrible. The only time, like Kai says, all these channels bashing black men, but the only time something positive is ever said is when he's rich or doing the most lavish and extravagant thing for his black women. I agree. I noticed that a lot. Or he's getting or they're talking about a black man once a non-colored woman does them in. Now they want to talk about him. And like I said, the black community, black men and black women, both are guilty. These brothers are so I see the bitter pill brothers, they so quick to want to praise a non-colored woman if she has one positive thing to say about black men. But you have black female content creators who do speak positive about black men, like myself. We are rarely ever discussed. But let a mixed or Latina, Tatiana have something positive to say, they quit to want to do content on this is how why black women don't support their women like this. Black women don't support their man like this, but we do. But other women do. Black women who do support, we don't get the appreciation for it. Same thing. Black men who do support black women, they don't get a lot of appreciation for it. They don't. A lot of black women, you know, a lot of us, we set ourselves up to be disrespected. We set ourselves up to be disrespected because we want to go to places in which you see other black women are being disrespected. Now, one thing I will say about men, where men are different from women, a black man is not about to go somewhere where he knows a black woman is going to disrespect him. Black men are smart enough to stay away from spaces in which they know somebody's going to try their manhood. Somebody's going to challenge their manhood. I will give black men that. Black men aren't going to hang out in spaces where they're going to be disrespected. Black men are not going to call into shows where a black woman can disrespect him and tell him he's average. Black men ain't going there. And I don't blame them, because black men are confident enough to know, I know my worth. I'm not calling into no bitter pill broad so she can degrade me and tear me down and make me feel less than a man. I know I'm a man, and I don't need a woman telling me that. Why women can't do that, I don't know. So when you call into these dating coaches shows and you get disrespected, you ask for that. You're going to let somebody make an assessment off of you. They've only known you based on your picture, only known you for 15 or 20 minutes, and they're going to give you a whole full assessment on why you can't get a man, and you sit up there and you take that type of disrespect. You ask for that. It ain't his fault. That's your fault. Y'all the ones calling into the show, acting desperate, seeking for validation. And a lot of these women, they think they're going to get a pass because they look good, and they get savaged too. They get savaged just like the ugly women who be calling in. So the women who think they got a one-up because they're attractive, they get savaged too. Because a lot of times, y'all not calling for real advice. Y'all calling for attention. Exactly, Bucket. They be calling for attention. You call up there thinking you're going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. Like you're going to be that one that's going to break the mold. Like, okay, you're the perfect 10. You're the perfect 10. You got it all. No kids, tight body. You under 30, so you didn't hit the wall. A lot of women are calling these shows thinking they're going to be the one to break the mold, and they never do. I'm not calling in to no show for somebody to make a mockery out of me. They think they could assess my reason for why I can't get somebody only within 15-20 minute conversation. First of all, majority of these women who call, they're not going to tell 100% the truth. So whatever advice they get is not going to be 100% the correct advice. A lot of times, a lot of us as black women, we get half truth because we don't tell the whole story anyway. Well, I'm wondering why I can't get a good man because I work out every day. I go to the lobby every day. I go to the lobby every day. I work out every day. And I still can't understand why I cannot find me a good husband. I own my own business. Yeah, you're telling all the good parts, but what about the other parts you leaving out? But you're leaving out the part where you're psychotic, you're over possessive, you're insecure. So I don't even know why any of these women even calling into these shows, because a man, nobody can give y'all a real assessment because you're not telling the whole truth anyway. Yeah, 40. I mean, you know what? And I did content on that. I said, I know females who hitting the wall at the age of 20. Already got 4 or 5 kids, 4 or 5 baby daddies, and they only 20. You don't have to be 30 or 40 to hit the wall. You can hit the wall at 18. I know females that's not even 18 and already on their 3rd baby daddy. They're definitely hitting the wall early. Yeah, I got my own business and I make my own money. I'm very independent. I don't need a man. Yeah, but you psychotic. You got 3, 4 baby daddies. That's why you got your own business. So that's what I'm saying. Like I said before, if you want to know the truth about yourself as a woman, contact your ex-husband, contact your ex-boyfriends, contact people who already know how you are. Contact the men in your family. Contact your father. He raised you. Contact your brother. He know you. Don't contact your friends that's going to lie to you and make you feel like you don't have issues. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with you, girl. These men, they just don't know what they want, girl. Don't call your girlfriend because your girlfriend going to lie. Now, me, I've always been one of them girlfriends. That's probably why I don't have friends. I tell my girlfriends why they can't get nobody. I say, you too much. You too possessive. You too controlling. But everybody ain't like that. Cartier says, call your boss. You late every payday. Using the word entrepreneur too loosely nowadays. Damn near everyone is one nowadays, just like a rapper or a DJ. Yeah, because they do hair out the kitchen. I'm a hairstylist, but you're not certified. You didn't go to school. You're not certified through the state. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that going on. But again, y'all just got to be careful, man. Misery likes company. Like I said, you got all it. You have a lot of black men and black women who have been rejected by the black community. So what they're doing is they are building platforms that are based on bashing black men or black women because they have not gotten past they haven't gotten past their experience, their negative experiences with black men and black women. So just be mindful. Yep, the same with models. True King Bar. Same with these models, these Instagram models. Y'all quick to give a lot of these guys, y'all will give a woman credit as soon as she says something positive about a black man, but you don't know her history. Because she said something nice or she's co-signing one of your narratives, you want to give her credit, but you don't really know her history. You don't know how many baby daddies she got. A lot of these females, they're learning to clout and stroke your ego so you can look past their faults. You can look past their bad decisions. You got a lot of these women now, they sneaking into these men's spaces, capable for men, because they know they fit the description of everything that most black men would not even want. They coming into the black male sector, caping, being a pretend. Yep, took the words right out my mouth, Cartier. Being pretend pick me. Because they already know they are discarded goods. They know in their neighborhood, they done ran through their whole neighborhood. Now they got to come on social media looking for men. Now they got to go on YouTube looking for men. Because they done burnt themselves out. And these are females under the age of 30. But as long as you can, that one thing about the black man and the black woman, you could always stroke their delusion. You could always stroke their egos as long as you supporting their delusions. And see, at one point in time, for the longest, it was only black women who was being bought by their delusions. That's why Derek Jackson and a lot of guys was able to benefit and profit off of black women, because black women have always supported people who supported their delusions. But now It ain't just the black women anymore. But now you got black men who are giving spaces to females that are supporting their delusions. A woman could tell you she look good and you don't even have to see her. She don't even have to show you who she is, and she could tell you you look good and you'll believe it. It used to just be black women, but now you got black men, they doing it too. They are buying into the delusions. Black people are letting anybody stroke their ego, and you give them a pass when they stroke your ego. All you have to do is tell us we look good. All y'all do is support our narratives. And we'll give you a space. You got women now, they don't even have to show who they are. And they getting leverage in these male spaces. Who fault is that? These delusional black men. The ones who can't get attention from women in real life, so they got to go on social media to get women to notice them. Yeah, you'll get 1,000 likes on that platform, but in real life, you ain't getting no 1,000 women to like you like that. And the majority of y'all know it. Those likes in social media don't match up with the likes in real life. Social media is nothing but an illusion. All the likes you get on social media, you're not going to get in real life. All the dudes that be DMing you in social media, they're not going to do all that in real life. Exactly. Only thing I can say is this: you better have your own mind. Don't let these dating coaches and these YouTube false prophets, because a lot of them are getting exposed. A lot of them ain't living up to what they pretend to be. All the ones y'all praising, it's more exposure to come. Derek Jackson ain't going to be the only one. There's plenty more of them that's going to come out. Y'all going to find out ain't nobody up in these YouTube streets perfect. Don't let none of them fool you. I don't care how well dressed they are. I don't care what type of, how they finesse with their style, and none of that don't mean nothing, because you don't know how none of these people are living off of social media. Yep, pretty face and big butt will lead you astray. Exactly. And same thing for women. Don't get fooled by a designer label wearing suit, gator shoes, because devils come in different forms. So anyway, I just want to share. I want to do a content on this, because again, it's just too many people that are qualifying themselves to be relationship experts. They're dating experts. They know what type of black women black men should get, or they know what type of black men black women should get. All of these people got all the answers, but yet we don't never see them with nobody. They don't have no receipts proving that they've been in a long-term relationship, so they know what it takes to keep a relationship together. A lot of them have no receipts to produce, but these are the ones that y'all support, and these are the ones, who y'all worship and praise until they get exposed. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. I appreciate y'all for coming out, hanging out with me. It's your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all take care. Be blessed.